Hello, everybody. My name is Kayla. I'm a Reiki master and spiritual coach. Recently decided to begin sharing my journey and the many, many stories I have from the past and my spiritual advising, just all things Kayla. And so today I wanted to talk about the namesake of this channel, which is Willow's Wisdom. Willow's wisdom came from an experience that I had in an ayahuasca ceremony about a year and a half ago. About 1 month before ceremony, I am convinced that my twin flame and I actually conceived. And I believe this because as we were reaching the end, I could see and feel in my mind's eye this golden light descend from the heavens slowly but surely. And she named herself Leilani. And I was like, oh no, should I let this happen? Because our relationship was really rocky at that point in classic twin flame fashion. But I just let it happen, and I was going to leave it up to the universe. And then 2 weeks later, my twin flame and I broke up for the first time, and I was absolutely destroyed, to say the least. We're not going to go into that quite yet, though. I'll talk about that in later videos about the twin flame journey. But yeah, in ceremony, grandmother ayahuasca let me know that I was pregnant, even though I was on birth control. This would have been a miracle child. And she gave me the option to keep her or let her go in that moment. And I went through my options. I had one vision of my twin flame wrapping his arms around me and our child, and that made me feel so warm and fuzzy, and I was so happy at that image until I recognized that that was definitely not the most likely circumstance since we had just broken up. Yeah. What would have been way more likely would have been me being a single mother with a baby daddy in the most expensive state, pretty much, in the US, in Hawaii. No family on the island, just me and my dog. So the circumstances were not favorable. And I have always said for the last several years that I want to choose the environment that my future child comes into. And that is why I will be building a farm with my twin flame here in the next upcoming couple of years, which I am super duper excited about. So yeah, I didn't want to bring a child into this world, so I was like, what if I created my own world? And that's how I got the idea to create a homestead, farm, eco village kind of thing. But anyway, that's not my reality currently. So I made the choice to say, I'll see you later. And moments later, I started my period. And there she was laying beside me in spirit, never leaving my side. She's always with me. She's been with me for about 10 years now. I'm 30 years old. And I believe she first came to me in Shavasana at the end of a yoga session. I was just laying there and I felt my future toddler daughter just wrap her arms around me and hug me and hold me tight. And it was the sweetest thing. Um, and I saw her again the first time I astral projected. She was in my room in a baby carrier surrounded by a few ascended masters, and that was kind of a trip, but I digress. In ceremony, I was mourning this. I was mourning the what I thought was the loss of my relationship with my twin flame. But also I was mourning the potential family um, that I just declined. And so I was sitting there in ceremony, crying, just kind of, feeling like my heart was just ripped out of my chest. And then I started to feel like I was solidifying into a tree trunk, much like grandmother Willow. And soon I became like a 50-foot tall willow tree in the ceremony space, with my awareness centered like in the trunk. And it's interesting. I have done a little bit of research on willow trees, and they are symbolic of grieving and sorrow. And also, Bodhisattva Kuan Yin is depicted holding a willow branch quite often. And the first time Kuan Yin appeared to me was during a Reiki session underneath a willow tree. So I've got a very special connection with Kuan Yin too. So interesting little blurb there. um, and I was remembering that the facilitators told us to focus on our own journey. Don't worry about anybody else's pain in the circle during ceremony. We're there to do our own healing, which I'll admit is pretty difficult at times because you have a heightened sense of empathy, and you're really just like rooting for them to go through what they're going through. And sometimes it's really loud, so it demands your attention. But yeah, so I remembered that piece of advice, and so I tried to just go inward. But by going inward, I was reminded that I'm a healer. And I was like, oh, yeah, obviously. By that point, I had been a Reiki master for about 4 years, but I hadn't been practicing. I had made a move from Boise, Idaho to Hawaii, and I had started a new job, and I just um, didn't practice for a long time. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm a healer. And I was kind of like putting my awareness up toward the shaman, like kind of asking, like, I know you said that we're not supposed to focus on others, but I really feel called to. So can I? And it felt like he allowed it. And so there were just people like crying all the way across the room. And I had control of my branches. And I was just spending time like reaching across the room and cradling these people in my branches and just holding them and sending them the Reiki or the healing light, and really soothing them. There was this other person that crawled from the opposite side of the room that was like in a fit of despair. They were just crawling on their hands and knees all the way over just to lay underneath my canopy. And as soon as they got underneath the canopy, they laid down and they took the deepest breath. They're like, oh. And so I gave them love. And I really love this memory that I have because it reminds me that going through these really painful experiences, these dark nights of the soul, but little did I know it was just beginning at that point. But I had my own like kind of medium dark night of a soul up until that point. But the more suffering that a healer goes through, it's kind of like their training. It helps me to show up more deeply for the people that I am offering help to. And it helps me understand what they're going through better, and it helps me to not judge, because I have seen and been it all. I have been such a little rascal, and I have been suicidal, and I have been just so lost and just ungrounded, and all of these things. I've been all over the spectrum, and so I love that about my life, because now I can show up for others and offer um, guidance and share what I have learned all this time, the last 11 years. And so I'm really excited to continue doing that. And in ceremony, after I was that big willow tree, I knew that I wanted to be a spiritual advisor. I knew that I wanted to share this wisdom. And so shortly after that retreat, I began my business, and it's been slow going up until this point. And marketing is really not my thing. Um, but Spirit has been guiding me this entire time, and I have had opportunities to have some long term clients. I had two for 6 or 7 months last year, and it filled my cup so much to watch these people make lasting transformations and just feel so much more purposeful and just generally peaceful and happy. And I pray for more opportunities to offer more of that. So please, anybody, if you feel like you resonate with who I am, if you can feel my energy and you like these things that I'm saying, um, please comment, subscribe, and reach out. I would absolutely love to work with you, whatever it is. So, yeah, right now, I guess Spirit is guiding me on how to market by constantly nudging me to just get on camera and take up space on this little corner of the internet and share my life, because my experiences are valuable. And at the very least, I just hope to inspire somebody. Um, and I also really hope to help people heal so that they can feel like they are co creating their life hand in hand with Spirit. That's really what it's all about. It's our destiny. So, yes, willow trees are super duper special to me. And not to mention, they're just like a gorgeous, gorgeous tree. So, that's my story. That's why we call this channel Willow's Wisdom. And I think I'm going to leave it there. I hope to see you guys soon. Let's talk. Please, I want to connect with you all. Okay, like, subscribe, comment, and aloha.